And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that we're live. I believe we are live on YouTube. Welcome to the show. It's been a while. It has been a while indeed. So let me just make sure that everything is up and running. So let's click that. Open to YouTube. Are live, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that we're live. Fantastic. Yes. Ladies and gents, so we're live. So I am just going to go over just some news and some stuff that's here. So why global warming is accelerating and what it means for the future. Oh no, global warming is actually speeding up, scientists say. So these are all paid adverts. These are paid hit pieces. Yeah, global warming. The planet's warming up. Is it because they're blocking the sun out by any chance? Hey, you know what it is. Who knows, eh? Who knows? So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at Twitter. We're going to have a look at what's this? The unhackable Xbox One has finally been hacked 12 years after release. That's something for a personal use, so I'll save that. Yeah, so we're gonna have a look at a couple of things I've got open. So let's have a look at Twitter, aka X, and we're just gonna go through some of the things. So obviously this is a news and sports roundup, and here's the man himself, Yuri, one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. He is currently, his wife, his missus, is pregnant. Looks like she's about to drop, judging by that photo right there. And yeah, she's showing. Not sure how you say his name, but congrats to him. And fair play. Fair play. Very unusual type of fighter. Came across this tweet here, and it says, Delhi, young man dies after accidentally shooting himself in the chest whilst making a real video with a pistol. The deceased has been identified as Pawan. And as you can see, it's very graphic. He gets the pistol. I'm not sure he knows what he's doing, but apparently this guy is now dead. So let's listen in. Let's listen in. You can. I'm not sure what the purpose of this is, because he's clearly loaded the pistol. So hang on, let's do it from the start. So here we go. So you can see he's put the bullets in. So there's it's packed with bullets. Right? I'm not sure what kind of gun it is. It's packed with bullets, right? Puts it in. Yeah. Cocks it, pulls it, and then I'm just absolutely flabbergasted as to why this guy has decided to do this. I mean, I don't want to sound uncharitable, but we're seeing a lot of things now with Indians in particular, right? When I say Indians, I'm talking these guys from Delhi and from, these rural parts of India and, the poorer parts of India. We're seeing some really crazy videos of these guys just walking alongside train track and, walking into trains and getting absolutely sloshed. And you're thinking to yourself, are these people actually real, or is it a simulation? I mean, let's go through the video one more time. You can see he's loading the pistol, he's loading the cartridge. There it is, the bullet's there, the top, there it is, so it's full. He then puts it in, cocks it, and then turns the gun on. What What did he think would happen if he did that? See, I think that these guys, I mentioned a minute ago about these guys, you see them by the trains and they're walking into the trains and the train splashes them. I think that these guys watch too many Bollywood movies. Now, a lot of people say, oh, this is AI. So I went into the comments. So click the comments. And when you click the comments, you read some of the comments. That's my comment, just not very bright. And it isn't, it's just not very bright. Somebody said this is clearly an AI video. Okay? I don't know what. InShot. Is this real or fake? Who used InShot to make this? I mean, InShot is just like CapCut, really. You can just use it to make videos, right? So it's probably been cut down. But when you look further down, somebody gives you the Times of India, I think it is. Where is it now? Because I clicked on that. Where is it? Here it is. Oh, not Times of India, Times of Delhi. The Indian Express. There it is. So this is from March the 17th, which is today. Updated 12:52 today. The Indian Express. It says a 28-year-old man accidentally shot himself dead at his home in East Delhi, Dalipura. Forgive me if I'm butchering the pronunciation. While his cousin was making a video of him with a loaded gun. Police said on Tuesday, March the 17th morning. It says Tuesday morning, March 17th. The Delhi police said the victim was identified as Pawan Kumar. He was admitted to the hospital where he was declared dead. According to a police officer, information regarding the gunshot injury was received at New Ashok Nagar police station from Dharamshila Hospital, Vasundhara Enclave, Delhi. Upon receipt of the information, police staff immediately reached the hospital where Pawan Kumar, resident of village Dalipura, aged about 28 years old, has been brought in an unconscious condition with a gunshot wound on the left side of his chest. Looks like he shot himself either in the heart or just above the heart. The attending doctors declared him dead, the officer said. So it's just a crazy thing to do. I mean, why would you turn the gun on yourself? He clearly didn't think that was going to happen. But again, these there's I think there's something's not quite right with these Indians. I'm not saying all Indians, but you see a lot of Indians on social media now. There's something clearly not quite right with what's going on with them. Clearly turns the gun on himself. I don't think he's not trying. I don't think he's trying to commit suicide. You watch the video. He's not trying to commit suicide. He's obviously bragging somewhat, and he didn't realize he's going to shoot himself dead. But everybody else knows, well, you're going to shoot yourself dead, mate. I think it's too many Bollywood movies. And you see it in real life, where they go walk around and they puff them chest out and they're walking like they got 10 bollocks. I think they're watching too many Bollywood movies, these unrealistic things. And I think they get drawn in. I think they're, some of these, a lot of people are simple-minded people. A lot of people are simple minds, but I think that excuse me, I got a bit of a blocked nose here, allergies. Excuse me. Yeah, I think quite a few people have got simple minds, and I think this guy is just a simple-minded person. He's probably watched one too many Bollywood movies where they jump off buildings and then land in the feet, and they walking into trains, and the train has a massive dent in it after they walk into trains. And in real life, you walk into a moving train, moving at so many miles an hour, you're getting splattered, mate. That's real life. But I think they're stuck in. I don't want to keep using simulation, but they're stuck in something where they believe that they're, for lack of a better word, better than everybody else. And it's clearly not the case, because that's one more guy that's died, and it looked pretty needlessly to me. So yeah, crazy. So that's one of the stories that I saw. Saw this one as well. Again, it's hard to differentiate what's AI and what's not. So a woman apparently who's pretending to be or identifies as a dog is attacked by a real dog, and Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if it's AI. I'm not gonna look into this post, but it looks pretty vicious to me. I mean, I've seen a couple of dog attacks on my social media. That's one of the tamer ones, to be honest with you. I've seen a couple of dog attacks on my social media, and it's not good, folks. It's not good, folks. I've got a dog. She's currently laying down in a bed, sleeping, waiting to be fed. Food's just finished. So if you can hear the beeping, that's the microwave. Food's defrosted. And as soon as I finish this video, I'll feed my Labrador. Get yourself a Labrador. Much better. Right, moving on. Reform UK. Now, everybody knows me, knows that I am apolitical. I am anti politics. I am anti-Labour, anti-Conservative, anti-Lib Dems, anti-Green. I don't think we need these people. And I don't think we need representation from these people or any people at all. I'm all for, what's the word? They'll say it's chaotic, but it's not. I am all for, mine's gone blank on that word, but self-governance. That's what I'm all for. Self-governance. I don't want to be told what to do by nobody. I don't want to be told when I can do anything by anybody. I just want to do my own thing. But here's Reforms UK new housing spokesman who told a group of Muslims, "We won't build homes for our people mean Brits. You can have the land and expand." Shocking old video exposes Simon Dudley surrendering British housing sites to Islamic Trust for votes. The mask has slipped. And as we know that we have, I've gone over this in previous videos, that reform, I mean, what is reform? Is reform a sort of like a BNP, an old BNP, British National Party, in an old guise, or is reform a Muslim party masquerading as a I'm all for Brits, I'm all for whites, I'm all for culture type of party, right? I suspect it's the latter, right? I think it's the Muslim party masquerading as something else. That's what I think reform is. And in time, bit by bit, it all comes out. Farage will be proven as a fraud, as he always is, but he won't care because Farage will run off with the money. So he won't care. The guy's a mercenary. He'll move on. He's making millions off this. He'll move on. He'll probably move to Thailand or Taiwan or wherever his wife is from, and leave us to rot, basically. Yeah, interesting. So I'm not going to play the video. Oh, actually, I might play a bit of snippet of the video. How about that? So let's go. It's only a 51-second video. So let's hear what Simon Dudley
Salam
from Reform has to say. Let's hear what Simon Dudley from Reform has to say about gaining the Muslim votes and what concession he's looking to give up. Simon Dudley.
Salam alaikum. I am Simon Dudley. I'm the leader of the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead. What I, as the leader of the council, and people like Gertch, as hopefully a future councillor, and the whole Conservative group, guarantee to you is that as the town develops, we will make sure you have the space to expand here. We had thought that we might build apartments, flats. We will never do that. That is my undertaking to you as the leader, the Conservative leader of the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead. When we have control of that site, we will allow the Islamic Trust to acquire that site so that you can expand here. Salam alaikum.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself. He's the housing minister for Reform. Like I said in one of my previous videos, Reform is packing themselves with a lot of Muslims. And eventually the mask will, well, it says it, the mask has well and truly slipped. These guys are late to the party. Welcome to the party, pal. these guys are late to the party. Reform is a Muslim party in disguise. That's what they are. All them putting these Nigel Farage, these white men at the front, that is to lure people in, then switch, then the bait and switch comes in. The people who run away when they realise, the white people who run away when they realise what the party really is, but it won't matter because then they can change the name to whatever they're going to change it to, and it is just a Muslim party. And then they've got the Muslim vote. So they've got a Muslim party called Reform. They'll change that name. It's just a change the name on paper. Then they've got the Muslim vote, and all the Muslim will flood to that party. That's it. End off. That's it. And who knows what goes on from there. Anyway, move on. Something a bit lighter. We have Ben Stiller showed up at a Whole Foods to sell his a Whole Foods restaurant or Whole Foods supermarket to sell his soda. So most people just walk past him. So why does Ben Stiller, and we're going to make this a bit wider, we'll make this a bit bigger, and we're going to put the volume up. Why does Ben Stiller look like Ellen DeGenerate? And I know it's DeGeneres, but I call her Ellen DeGenerate because she's a degenerate. I don't want to say lady because I believe that Ellen's not really a lady. A person. There we go. Stiller showing off his brand new soda at a supermarket, Whole Foods supermarket, and zero people is interested. I think Ben Stiller's got the wrong idea there because what you're supposed to do, Ben, is release a movie. You're meant to release a movie, get your name in the papers, get your name everywhere else, and then release the soda. Breaking news, no one gives a FU or FCUK. There you go. Yeah, nobody cares about Ben Stiller. Nobody cares about these guys. We don't care. Get out of our lives. So let's move on. We've covered that one. So what's this one? A Brazilian urologist removed more than 30 stones from a patient's bladder. The patient drank 2 to 3 liters of Coca-Cola a day and hardly drank any water. Sometimes the body ends up paying the price for years of dehydration. Oh, wow. So these are actual kidney stones.
Só para o pessoal escutar aqui. Quantos litros de Coca-Cola o senhor bebe por dia?
So I'm not going to play that because it's in a different language. And
2 or 3 litros.
That's what it says it is. So those are kidney stones, and I'd imagine that's quite painful. A white man will steal this, take it back to America, and later claim that he invented it. This is what to do. Man goes viral after inventing a cure for plaque buildup. Toothbrush and toothpaste?
The taste buds of your tongue.
Let's have a listen.
And there was no solution, so I had to create one. And that's how the 3-in-1 toothbrush was born. As you can see, the silicone whispers maneuver up and down instead of side to side because that's how you're actually supposed to brush your teeth. The silicone whispers also means that you don't have to buy a new toothbrush every 2 weeks destroying the earth because this one lasts forever. I already knew that the billion-dollar corporations would hate that, so I had to get the product patented. Because my mission here was simple. Stop having these billion-dollar corporations profit from destroying your teeth. So a message to all of Big Pharma. I'm coming.
Good luck with that, brother. He's coming. So what else we got? There was one that I wanted to touch on this morning, and that was I saw a video of Katie Price, and I am going to click Good Morning Britain, actually. I'm going to open a new tab with that. A woman who was sexually abused by her driving instructor is calling for the profession to be legally classified as a position of trust to prevent further victims suffering the same fate. Morgane Chapman was just 17 when the abuse took place. Her instructor was given a suspended sentence later and later took his own life after a further 15 victims came forward. 10 years on, Morgan is now pushing for a change in the law. Why is she waiting 10 years to come forward? What's beyond that? See, I have a problem. I'm going to pause this. I have a problem with people doing stuff like this because I think, and I don't know for sure, that there's an ulterior motive here. Okay? She was sexually assaulted. 10 years ago, 10 years later, she comes out with, I want this to be done as this. Okay, right, we get it. You were abused. You say you were abused. Okay, we get it. Fine. 10 years later, move on with your life, carry on. But no, she comes back. She wants something done. She wants a law passed for such and such and such. Now, what is the purpose of that? It's more stronger hold over people and people's lives, isn't it? Really, that's just not every driving instructor abuses or sexually abuses somebody. For her to come up to say it's the position of trust, she doesn't know the implications and the ramifications of potentially what that title holds. So why is she coming up on TV as the front of this? See, so what I'm getting at is they need to declare full disclosure. And full disclosure mean who are you paid by, who sent you, who gives you the spiel for you to come on TV, who pays you to come on TV to say this. But there's never any disclosure. They just allow them to come on, say all these things, and then run with it. And I know if government gets involved, they're part of it, right? And I'll leave it there. I won't even listen to her. 10 years ago. Unbelievable. Pastor hired a translator to follow him around his church so he could preach in Spanish and English at the same time. I mean, mockery.
¡Esa una maldición! You can.
A mockery of the Bible, a mockery of Christ's words. But this is what they do. It's the mega church, the age of the mega church, the age of laughing in people's faces whilst robbing them blind. To make sure you leave your money before you leave. The gates won't be shut. Make sure you leave your money, bro. Right? These gates are staying closed until you pay up. All these guys, most of them are millionaires. We know about these people. They're mercenaries. Yeah? And they know to play in people's emotions, play in people's fears, play in people's fragility. And out of that, they can blindside them, take the money. That's what it's all about, taking your money. Won't even listen to him. Won't even listen to this guy. What a joke. So Jamie Foxx claims he saw a white version of himself in the hospital while near death. They were trying to clone me. What? Well, I suppose we're going to listen to this. In 2023, Jamie Foxx suffered a sudden health scare that had fans fearing the worst. Rumours exploded that it was a heart attack or even death. He later revealed that it was a brain bleed that led to a stroke, but what he says happened inside the hospital is what's going viral right now. What's going viral again. According to Fox, he believed he didn't actually have a stroke, secretly grabbed his phone to see what people were saying, became convinced something else was going on, saw a white version of himself walk into the room, thought doctors were trying to clone him, even saying it was to sell better overseas. They were trying to clone me. He says he was thinking, I know what's up, you're trying to clone me. He says that it felt completely real to the point where doctors had to bring in a psychiatrist and adjust his medication. At one point, he even got out of bed, ready to confront everyone, fully convinced something was being done to him. At the time, most people chalked it up as stress, trauma, and medication, but now the clip is resurfacing. People online are connecting it to a much bigger conversation, with some even claiming other celebrities like Jim Carrey have been replaced or cloned. The strangest part, he tells it like something that felt completely real. Was this just a hospital-induced episode, or are people finally starting to question things that they were ignoring? So this is from 2023. So let's listen into Jamie Foxx. I like Jamie Foxx, good comedian.
I snuck my phone because I didn't know what the outside world was saying. And so I snuck my phone to see what people were saying. I've just been in this hospital and I couldn't get my mind around it. I had a stroke. I'm in fucking perfect shape. The clone shit threw me.
Yes.
When they said I was a clone, that made me flip in the hospital. That's it. These motherfuckers are trying to clone me. I didn't have a stroke. So I'm sitting in the hospital bed like these bitch ass. And then I saw me walk into my room. But I'm white. So I see the white me.
But he had a Caesar too? Just
Not
like you?
all that, the white me.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm like, and I'm trying to get their attention. And no one said anything. And I'm like, that's it. They trying to clone me. This motherfucker is all the thing. And so the next morning I was out of my bed. I was standing there like Chris Pratt in Jurassic Park. I was like, what the fuck? And Dave was like, what's up, Fox? I said, what's up, Fox? I said, I know what's up. You trying to clone me, motherfucker. I saw the white clone. And I know why you're trying to clone me. And make me white, because I'll sell better overseas and all this other kind of So they had to call like my
Psychiatrist.
I had a psychiatrist on board, and I'm sitting in this motherfucker.
You read your conspiracy
I'm
theory,
thinking
and
I'm a
it said
clone.
yes.
And when the psychiatrist says, "Are you all right?" and I says, "Am I all right or am I all white?" I saw what happened yesterday. I saw, motherfucker, you trying to get the white motherfucking Jamie Foxx, and it ain't gonna happen. So he just calmly goes, "I think we're gonna lower your dosage."
So that's Jamie Foxx describing what he went through in the hospital. Now I take that as him being on from that. My interpretation is that they think that he was on too much medication, so he was basically hallucinating. There you go. So I don't think there's anything to it really. Is the clones exist? Who knows? They've certainly cloned people in the past. We know about the Cabbage Patch babies and all these kind of things from the early 1800s, the late 1800s, early 1900s. We know all about these kind of things. So who knows? Let's do bacteria really cause disease? So let's listen to one of my favorite doctors to listen to is Dr. Tom Cohen. He's got a BitChute channel. If you're in the UK, you cannot access BitChute because they've stopped it due to government censorship. So if you've got a VPN though, like I have, and currently I use Mozilla VPN, which is not currently on because I don't need it because I'm only accessing Twitter at this point. But VPN exists, and if you need to use it, get yourself a VPN. Proton VPN is free. That's a decent one, considering it's free, and it will do the job in terms of they let you see overseas content. Okay, so let's listen in. So, do bacteria really cause disease? I don't agree. So I've listened.
It's very easy to sort this out.
I've listened to Dr. Tom Cohen before. Bacteria don't cause disease. Bacteria is there to clean up the dis-ease. Dis-ease. Okay, let's listen in.
All you have to do is isolate the bacteria, which, unlike viruses, is very easy to do. So you can get a pure culture of strep, you can get a pure culture of E. coli, a pure culture of staph. You can spray that in 10 people's throat who are otherwise well. You can have people drink it. You can spray it on their skin. Then you can do controls. If the strep was growing in saline, you squirt saline in their mouth and you see if it causes the same symptoms. You see if the bacteria are the causative agent of making people sick. There is not one study in the medical literature that proves that that's how this works. Literally scores, if not hundreds of times. In every case, same result, nothing happens. That's not how it works. It's actually disproven theory that bacteria cause disease. This is the same argument with fungi, and it's basically the same argument with parasites, but I don't have time to get into that right now. Viruses have never been proven to exist. Bacteria have never been proven to cause illness. There's no need to fear these germs or these microorganisms. There's no need to take vaccines to prevent infections. This whole thing is basically a house of cards designed to make you afraid. We don't need to fear these germs anymore. We can just take care of our precious, wonderful bodies, and life will be good.
There you go. Heard it from the man himself, one of my favorite doctors to listen to, Dr. Tom Cohen. Love his lectures and just fascinating things. Fascinating how he thinks about things logically. You wonder why they don't do it in hospital, but then if you know about the Rockefeller system, the keep them ill, customer for life system, then you'll understand where we are and you'll understand what's happening. So that's it, really. So this is somebody that's posted this. So I have not listened to this. So let's listen in. I'm guessing there's going to be a little bit of profanity. It looks like a heated discussion between a white man and what looks like a Muslim individual. So let's have a look.
Tell me what to do, little boy, unless you think you can fucking do it. I fucking know, mate. I mean, you're confused as fuck. Look at yourself, mate. You're confused. Yeah? Now, I am actually indigenous to this land. I ain't got a fucking German.
Okay, so I've got to debunk this because he said that the white man has said the white gentleman has said he's indigenous to this land. And actually, mate, you're actually not indigenous to this land. If you want to talk about indigenous people, now you can say, well, you're indigenous up until the start of the, let's see, 1700s, right? But if you want to, the problem that I find with people is, especially these far-right individuals, and I'm not saying that this man is far-right. I'm not saying that he's far-right, but he's just spouted that he's indigenous to this land because he's talking to somebody or he's debating somebody and he's just pulling stuff out of the air. You can't say you're indigenous to this land as much as I can say I'm indigenous to this land. You're just born here, mate. But if you want to go back through history, the problem is they always start at a certain point in history. They never want to go back further, right? So, for example, if you mention the Dark Ages, let's say, they don't want to go back any further. Oh, so the Dark Ages is all rubbish. But what we know is actually that the Dark Ages was actually occupied by the darkies, by black people in this land, on these lands. Your England, your Scotland, your Ireland, your Welsh Islands. There were actually black pygmies that were here. And I am going to do a YouTube video actually about that very same thing. I will do a YouTube video. So what he's spouting there is not true, but because this Muslim man is, I'd imagine, wasn't born here, I don't know, because he's just saying I'm only guessing that he's indigenous to this land because he's white. The problem is this white gentleman isn't educated enough to say that. He's not sophisticated enough to say that. He's spouting something to try and, I want somebody to come and tell me that. And we'll show him some facts. I'm going to do a podcast on it with all the evidence. And we're going to go back even further and further and further down history. And if we go back even further, I mean, they've already said it before. I don't even want to point out, is it the Cheddar Man? We don't even want to point that out. I've only got to go to one of my favorite YouTube channels. So let's see. Hang on. We're going to pause that, right? And we're going to go to YouTube. Right? We're going to go to YouTube. And we're going to type in, for anybody, oh, don't tell me I've got to sign in. Oh, it's just ads and cookies and everything. So bear with me. So we're going to type in Curry. Is it Currymo? Might have got that wrong. Hang on. Let's type in Currymo and see what happens. Here we are. There we are. So this guy is amazing, right, with his resources. So he goes through books and books and books galore, right? It's probably best to go to via playlist, right? So let's go to playlist. And we're gonna have just a quick snip of his video. So let's go to Ancient Israelites in the Nation of Europe. So we won't even go to that one, right? And these are books. These are very old books, from the 10th century. All these kind of books before the apparent white people became so-called indigenous to these lands, Ireland, England, Wales, etc. And we're going to go back to this guy in the Twitter video, because that's the problem we face with these guys, is because they only want to go so far and they won't go back any further because it messes with their heads to know that actually what they're saying isn't true. Right, so we're gonna go. Let's see. Let me just bear with me. I just want to find it. I have actually posted it. So, I'll tell you what, we're talking about England, Wales, and Ireland. So, ancient Ireland. Let's have a look at the playlist. Is there a playlist? I think there should be a playlist. What was that? Right. The Chaldees. The Black Irish Diaspora. Right. There's that. The Phoenician origins. Phoenician origin of the Britons, Scots, Anglo-Saxon. Right, so let's just skip that. This guy,
Ireland, War of the Chaldees.
Pause. Phoenician origin of the Britons, Scots, and Anglo-Saxons. Right, these are old books. So if I were to go into Google and type it in, right, it's probably going to tell me that this is like 10th century. What this guy fails to do, see, he's just spouting bullshit that he hears from, the Royal Society. Okay, now the Royal Society is set up by the German, Sox, Copa, whatever their name is, the people who are in power now, the people who are in the monarch now. He's just spouting the nonsense that they've spouted for years and years, nearly a century, that they've spouted the thing that England is white, has always been white, and all this thing, and it's not true, right? Because there's books out there older than monarchy who tells you in all these books, it tells you that before through anthropology. So anthropology is when they dig up the bones, they keep digging further and further. Right, this is the bones. We've dug and dug, we can't find any more bones. This is it. But put it all together. Who are these people? These people are likely black people. They're pygmies. All these people who are here first on this English land, Irish land, Welsh land, Scottish lands. Right? But this guy is not sophisticated enough. He's spouting this because he believes he's up against it with the Muslims. And you probably are. However, you can't just say, I'm indigenous to this land. Just say, mate, I was born here. My family's been here for, 50 years, 75 years, whatever it is, 100 years, whatever it is. But don't just say you're indigenous to this land, because if you're just saying that based on the fact that you're born here, if he's born here, then he's kind of indigenous to this land as well. But if you're to be a true indigenous to this land, you could say, well, your foundation was here, right? And we know that's not true because of books like this. What proves it? And that's just one book. So this guy is amazing because he goes through all the books.
Here from a Phoenician stele of about the 4th century BC. Again,
he literally reads it. He reads everything, right? And it's all there. Look at.
And of the same type as that introduced into India by the eastern branch of the Aryas or Aryans. And
tells you everything about the history of race, the people who are on the lands first, the people who are discovered where first. But because the narrative had been set by the Royal Society and the American Society and all these things, look, the Black Irish diaspora, undeniable proof. They are ancestors of many Caribbean and US peoples, right? It's just stuff like this.
Right, there's footnotes for this of Rockfleet.
Well-researched books, but again, if you were to ask this gentleman here, this guy here, he ain't got a clue. Because he's exposing what the system have put up. And he's just spouting the nonsense that the system that he's rallying against has put up. It's not a researcher. So it's fine. So anyway, let's listen in. But we will do a podcast on the race, on the people who are here first. And we keep going back. We keep going back further and further.
Name, I ain't got a fucking Eastern European name. I've got a Celtic name. Yeah, Celtic name.
the Celtic name. So they claim that Celtic was white, but actually, again, we're going to go through, and I'm going to use Kurimo Ahau. I'm going to use some of his reference and his documentaries, and I'm going to use some of that to build my documentary, because these are how he finds these books is just amazing, showing that the Celts were black, and then it was stolen. It was stolen identity, much like how the JEWS nowadays people stole the original JEWS identity. You know, it's just amazing. So it's all stolen identities to denigrate a group of people and then take it over and run with it. The JEWS, the little hat people, they've done it. And now these guys are doing it because there's been nobody to challenge them for so long.
More imperialism come from the Middle East, which was introduced by fucking Zionists and the Ottoman Empire.
So he's saying that Zionism was introduced, imperialism was introduced by the Zionists. Actually, no, the imperialism was introduced by not just the Zionists, but by the British Zionists, right? And the Ottoman Empire, which was all Brits, the British people, the East India Company, the British Empire, they controlled the Ottoman Empire, they controlled Zionism. It was them who set it all up. And again, I'm going to do it. So we got people like Jay Dyer, who I'm not a massive fan of Jay Dyer, but Jay Dyer does do good work, right? I've got to say that. Jay Dyer does some excellent research when it comes to modern geopolitics, but he's limited in his content when it comes to real history, which is where people like this guy comes in, because this guy comes in and goes back even further than what modern history portrays the people. They want to just say, well, the Dark Ages, we don't want to go back any further than that because we want to stop before we get to the Dark Ages, because that's the Enlightenment period. That's the period that everybody needs to know about, the Enlightenment period. But the Enlightenment period, as we know, as people are finding out, is where they stole everything, they whitewashed everything, they destroy everything that was built before, all the buildings, the old world, the old tech, everything. They destroy all the old thing, say it's all white that's done it, and then run with it, which is where this guy comes in. He's running with the stolen tech, the stolen history, the stolen ideas. He's running with that, the stolen culture. He's running with that because he's been given that and emboldened by the Zionist system. The British Empire. People think the British Empire has folded. No, the British Empire is alive and kicking, mate. Let's listen.
And the Carthaginian Empire, and so you thought all your fucking, we're the favourite children of Abraham shit to this land. It wasn't a fucking land. Mate, don't tell me what to do, little boy, unless you think you can fucking do. I will do what I want, when I want. Now fuck off. Right? You're a racist. You're a racist. Oh yeah, you're a big scarf merchant, mate. You can't speak. Don't put your hand on me. I have to leave. Don't put your hand on me. I'm walking past. If you put your hand on me one more time, sir, I'm going to have to make a complaint. Now, I'm walking away. Right, what's your badge number, mate? Yeah, what's your badge number? I didn't say anything racist. This is your problem. No. You don't put your hands on me for no reason. That's assault. Right? So, badge number. 652. This is 652. I've been on lots of people guys since 15. And any of you that do can hang off my big nuts and grow up here. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so this guy is just irate because he thinks that Britain's been overrun. And do you know what? I'm a little bit sympathetic to that, actually, because I think, not with his views, because his views are skewed, but you have to realise that the system is dead and dying. If it's not dead already, it's a dying system. And what the system is doing to protect its own arse, it's allowing the degradation of society, right? It's already corrupt. The fact that, it's like a two-tier justice system. It's probably more than two-tier. probably two-tiered justice system. There's the rule of law. When I say the rule of law, I'm talking common law, not the rule of law as in you're a terrorist because we say you're a terrorist. Not that. The rule of law as in the law of the land, which is common land, which is common law. That's been eroded. That's been eroded by the same system that's propped this guy up to spew the uneducated nonsense that he's spewing, right? And people might say that, well, I'm spewing uneducated thing, but that's because you haven't listened to people like this guy reading these old books, these old texts, these stuff from the parishes in, places like Wolverhampton that wasn't called Wolverhampton, different parts of London, different parts of Great Britain. He's reading these old texts. Some of them are so old, you can't even read some of the words. They haven't even got those words anymore due to etymology and, them changing and not wanting to go back to how things are. I watch videos of people like this who don't give their opinion. They just read the text and say, well, they say they were here first. Well, how about what this book say that says, well, they were here 1,000 years before them? Do you know what I mean? I prefer reading these kind of things. I like going back further. And if there's books out there like this that goes back even further, let's see it. And if it says that, well, white people are here, well, fantastic. Good. They got nothing to hide then. But they don't want to go back any further. They want to pick a period and don't want to go back any further. And people say, well, hang on a minute, mate. You got a problem with white people? No, I haven't. My kids are mixed race. I got zero problems with white people. I love white people. I love everybody, folks. What I don't like is oppression. What I don't like is lies. What I don't like is obfuscation. That's what I don't like. Right? What I don't like is people like, and I'm not saying he's far right. It's giving off a vibe, isn't he? It's giving off a vibe, isn't it? That he's kind of far right. You can educate that person, in quotation marks. You can educate that man a better way instead of the nastiness. Because to me, he wasn't being violent, he wasn't being horrible, he wasn't being aggressive. Didn't hear any swearing from him. I heard a lot of swearing from this guy and a lot of aggressiveness from this guy towards this man. So this is a very irate individual. But again, posts like that is pushed because there's a narrative being pushed that Muslims are taking over. And like I said, I am a little bit sympathetic to that view because I see it in my community. And it's interesting, right? It's interesting to observe what's happening. But again, as difficult as it may be, this gentleman here is blaming the wrong person because if say for example he believes, and it's obvious that he believes that they're encroaching on society with maybe a degradation on culture and society as it is, right? Then you're blaming the wrong person. You need to go to, i.e., number 10. I'm not protesting at number 10. Fucking drag him out at number 10. So you're threatening violence against this man. No. He's a fellow human being. His ideologies may not be aligned to mine and yours, but ideologies can be changed, right? Right? Ideologies can be changed. You're channeling your anger at a fellow man on the street. Doesn't matter if he's black, brown, white, whatever. The reason why he's here is because he's been allowed to come here. And that doesn't mean that anybody should be allowed to come here, right? People should be allowed to travel as freely as possible as long as there isn't ulterior motives, right? I think we can all agree. But if you believe, like I think he believes, that the country is being flooded and he's been taken over and all these kind of things, that's the view from the far right that I've picked up, right? Then you're blaming the wrong person. Don't blame him. You blame the politicians who allow that to happen with the boats, the free money, the free hotels, £1 million a day hotel bills. You're blaming the wrong person, because if you were him and you were offered a chance to come to somewhere where they're going to put you up and pay for your food, pay for your car test, pay for everything else, if you were him, if you were born in a different part of the world, in a different land, and your opportunities were scarce, you would do the same as him. And I would do the same as him, if given the opportunity. Right? So if you believe the society's been denigrated, and culturally, economically, then the people who are actually causing that degradation is the politicians, right? So you need to aim and channel your anger and your voice at the politicians, not the fellow man. He's a light beam like you are. That's all I'm saying. I hope I conveyed that a little bit. I know it's a bit convoluted, but I hope I conveyed that. So, anyway, moving swiftly on. Oh, we have Andrew Tate. Hey. Andrew Tate says, Andrew Tate and why you need to get a loan. This financial advice, get a loan now. Andrew Tate says, get a loan. Andrew Tate also says, join his course and you become millionaires, laughing at people. Get a loan, he says. So let's listen into the brain box that is Andrew Tate.
Dollars in the future.
He's a very successful person. He's managed to manipulate webcam models. He's managed to manipulate young men into thinking that they can have supercars and all the beautiful women, as long as they sign up to his course. And evidently, it's not true. But let's listen in.
They're going to be worth a lot less than they're worth now. So it makes sense for me to borrow a bunch of money now, spend all of it, buy assets, buy hard things, because by the time they want their money back, it's going to be worth a lot less than it is today. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me make this simple. I try to borrow money today. Let's say I borrow $10 million today. I buy $10 million worth of assets. I now owe $11 million. In 5 years, by the time I pay that $11 million back, the $10 million worth of assets I bought is worth $20 million, $25 million, because inflation increases the price of assets. That's exactly what it does. That's the whole point of it. So the rich get richer and the poor stay poorer. Despite me having a whole ton of money, I am going to borrow $10 million today. I'm going to spunk it all, and you're going to watch me do it all on Twitter. In fact, people who want the details, knowing exactly what I'm doing with the money, you're going to have to join the War Rooms. The War Room Network is doing exactly the same thing. If you have the capability to get a loan today, I absolutely recommend you get it. I'm going to buy a plane. I'm going to buy a big mansion. I'm borrowing 10M, and I'm going to spend it all. And by the time they want their money back, it's going to be the smartest decision I ever made, because dollars are about to be laying all over the floor. Just like in Venezuela. You're going to be able to pick them up without even trying. I'm not worried about their interest rate they're going to put on top of the loan, 3%, 4%. We're seeing that inflationary 3-4% per month. If you have the capability to get credit right now, this is financial advice. I'm not one of them pussies on Twitter who says not financial advice. This is financial advice. Do this. Get a loan. Join the War Room so you know exactly how to spend the remainder of that loan. Spend it all in the exact way me and the other War Room soldiers are spending the money, and I guarantee it'll be the smartest financial decision you have ever made. This is financial advice. Get a loan now. Dollars.
This guy's a cowboy. We won't aspire any more of that. He's a cowboy. So I did say this is a sports one, so hang on. So this is Igor Thiago's family's reaction to their boy getting called up to the Brazilian national team. 19 league goals this season, bro deserves it. I don't know who he is. Igor Thiago. Is that Chelsea? Is that a Chelsea player? I'm not sure. I think it might be a Chelsea player. What else we got? So legalized recreational drugs. Kilo of Charlie in Colombia was £1,500. Same gear in the UK is 32k. Cut to shreds as it is here. Huge profit controlled by criminals with violent murder and mayhem. Let those who want to die from drug abuse get on with it, and we let people use fags and booze. Right, okay, fair enough. These are thieves wanted. Police report. A police report has been filed for these people thieves who filled up people thieves. What's wrong with people and their spelling and their grammar? Police report has been filed for these people thieves who filled up the tank on this car and left without attempting to pay. The same usual suspect treating our laws with utter contempt. Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny because the Post says, and they're obviously implying, because they're implying that the same usual people, and they say that for black people as well, don't they? Oh, so when it's a white person saying it, so just saying, I get it. It's farming, it's people farming, and you know, it's out there to create a narrative, and this person's probably getting paid well because it attracts, in quotation marks, far right, right? Yeah, it attracts people, so they'll say the same usual suspects because there is an appetite for far right kind of post. But you know, they're being charged at the pump. We're all being charged at the pump a lot of money. Now, as we know, thieving isn't right, but let's be honest. They're thieving from us. They're stealing from us. Inflation, taxation, they're stealing for us. We know that petrol prices should not be anywhere near it is. Petrol prices should be half the price of what it is, or less than half the price of what it is. There is so many barrels of petrol and diesel on the planet. It's like water. It's an unlimited resource, right? But again, it's farming. It's farming of people to get them. It's groupthink. It's get them to think a certain way and to get them to espouse hate, right? I don't look at old white people and say they're all pedophiles, right? Because that's not true. Vast majority of people aren't. I don't look at black people and think they're all criminals, because it's not true. Vast amounts of people that are black aren't. There's a minority of people that are pedophiles. There's a minority of people that are criminals. Everybody in every group has got criminals, pedophiles, and all sorts in every group, right? You get the worst of the worst in everything. But it's amazing because these people just spew the absolute hate. But, you know, it's what they do. It's clickbait material. And I'm glad I didn't listen to it, to be honest with you. Saying that I don't think there's any volume, which is probably not a thing. So, hey, Grok, can you remove AI-generated person from these images? So there's reports of Benjamin Netanyahu. Because apparently, allegedly, he has died. I'm not sure. Never let it be forgotten. This fake Sikh was openly racist to white and Sikh people, and also posted pictures of patriots' children because he fell out with them. So it's a Sikh wars. Right. What else we got in the Punch and Judy show, that is Parliament? So it says, meanwhile, today in the UK, given the severity of the situation, I confirm we will start an immediate targeted vaccination program, of course. So, for anybody that doesn't know, apparently so, there was an outbreak of meningitis in Kent University. Now, I call BS on that, right? I've seen some of the photos. A lot of them look like AI to me. I'm not saying they're not real people, but I'm saying whenever something happens and you get this magnitude of response, it's usually state-sponsored. That's all I'm saying. It's usually state-sponsored. And it's a shame that people like Rich Planet, who do great work, and he's still got his website, richplanet.net, richplanet.tv, sorry. It's a shame that this guy has been, not silenced completely, but it's a shame that, you know, he's been, he hasn't done any videos since, no videos in 2026, which is a shame, actually. Yeah, he's essentially been silenced. You know, the court cases, they're taking him to court, they're trying to bankrupt him, all for questioning the Manchester Arena bombing. So, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame what's going on, because there isn't any real journalists out there anymore who are actually, you know, trying to get to the bottom of the lies and everything that we see. So, whenever I see something like this, and it's so coordinated.
Given the severity of the situation, I can confirm to the House.
So coordinated, and the response to it being overly dramatic. It's like saying one child has spina bifida. We've got a vaccine now. Every child born has to have a vaccine for spina bifida. And what do we know about vaccines? We know that they're filled with poison, and the chances are, if it is a true story coming out of Kent University, where students apparently have been struck down with meningitis and, you know, with flu symptoms and all these kind of things, the chances are those people have probably been experimenting either with drugs or with vaccines. That stuff doesn't just ordinarily happens, right? How do we know it's not a COVID vaccine that's caused it? How do we know that they haven't fitted a 5G or a 6G tower just outside the college or just outside their houses? How do we know that? But again, it's news. You can't believe anything that you see in the news. So it will all develop. Some of it will come out. And if people look hard enough, they'll see that it's all BS. So let's have a listen to what this Punch and Judy show, you know, oh, we're in charge. These kind of people, these crooks, these people who are sold out. They're there for the 100,000 per year. They're there for the free. Everything's free. They get everything free. You want a Louis Vuitton bag? Oh, that's free, baby. You want a new apartment on top of your £100,000 a year salary? Oh, yeah, baby, that's free. You want to order £10,000 worth of goods from Amazon for one of your houses? Oh, that's free. You want to get your daughter employed or your wife employed? Oh, yeah, that's free. They can join the payroll and apparently the public teat. This is what they do. These are the biggest scammers, the biggest liars on the planet. And they're propped up by the people in Whitehall, the people by GCHQ, MR5 and MR6, who, by the looks of it, have got stuff on all these people. And they're sat there trying to be authority, trying to be leaders. And out of that, you get shambolic statements like this. So let's have a listen in. So this is, I don't even know his name. This is how disengaged I am with politics. So the UK Health Secretary immediately wants to start an emergency vaccination campaign. There we go. So they've got the vaccines ready. They've got to create the crisis, which they have done by saying a lot of people's dying. Now, suddenly, we've got the vaccines, baby. It's like COVID. They put up the 5G towers. They turn them up. They can turn them up and turn them down. They turn them up. People start getting cold. People start getting flu-like symptoms with the Wi-Fi and the poison in the food and the bleach in the water and the poison in the water. That makes people sick. Your terrain is poorly, so your body exhibits that in flu symptoms and all these kind of diseases that your body is trying to get rid of. They call that you need a vaccine. So yeah, let's have a listen to this. Let's have a listen to this criminal who probably thinks he's doing right. I doubt it. I think they know what they're doing.
That we will begin a targeted vaccination programme for students living in halls of residence at the University of Kent in Canterbury, which will begin in the coming days. UKHSA will provide further advice on other cohorts in the coming days. On the question of wider eligibility, we obviously follow the expert independent advice of the JCVI. In light of...
Oh yeah, follow the experts, all right. Yeah, the experts are never wrong, are they? Hey? They're never wrong with COVID, are they? Hey? All the yellow, what's it? The yellow form reporters where people are saying, oh, my retina's detached. Oh, after taking the vaccine. Oh, I've had a heart attack. Oh, it's rare. Oh, I've got myocarditis. Oh, it's rare. Don't worry about it. How do you know it's caused by the vaccine? Because I just fucking injected it and it put me in hospital. It doesn't mean it's a vaccine. I mean, these are criminals, so they're targeting. What I want to say now is that everybody should get some poison locked in their bodies because they've created a crisis. They've caused the crisis. It's problem, reaction, solution. And their solution is, well, take the fucking vaccine. Excuse the French.
This latest outbreak, I
will even know it's not caused by a vaccine.
Be asking them to re-examine eligibility for meningitis vaccines. I will do so given the severity of the situation.
Fucking criminals. So let's have a look if some of these people in the chat are awake. we've been here before. Without emergency vaccination programs, maybe stopping the Africans arriving in Dover would be a good start. So again, I go back to Dr. Tom Cohen, one of my favorite doctors, right? And he just shows you the more vaccines, the more illnesses. That's the point and that's the plan. But they'll keep blaming it on the unvaccinated. Well, I'll give you a light, mate. Well done. Fantastic. Brilliant. This is pathetic. It's not caused by meningitis. It's caused by something else. Thank you. Treating the symptoms is a mistake. We are in a war footing, and this could be rooted in a virus. We can't vaccinate our way out of meningitis because it will have underlying cause, and reaction will be okay. I'm not going to read the rest of that because yes, he's partly right, but there is no virus. What a load of ignorance on this thread. Amazing that people even suggesting it's not meningitis. Vaccine save lives. So take the shot then, bitch. Lost runner. Don't take the shot. They never bother to look for toxins in a nightclub, do they? Air conditioning? Exactly. Could be something in the air conditioning, couldn't it? Could be drugs that they use to get there that's causing a reaction with their body. Wow. The place is, after all, called chemistry. Is that what the place is called? Well done, lady. See, this is what I like. They're not all stupid. And folks have learned. They've learned from the COVID times where they've seen their family gets ill and they've seen their kids get ill, from taking poison shots in their body because the state thinks, sponsored by pharmaceutical companies, think that they're God and think that they're better than. They think that the human body needs to be maintained by them. Who the fuck are they? Fuck them. Excuse the French. The longer I remain unjabbed, the more evidence I see supporting my decision. Brilliant. 97 likes now. It was 96 until I liked it. Pharma kickbacks already in play. Well done. I would be surprised if they're intentionally infecting these boat migrants with disease to bring them over just to sell the government more vaccine that cost about 10p to produce but priced at 1k a pop because of research. Mate, bro, I was losing so much faith in humanity, but reading these pages and bringing it back slowly. The African meningitis belt, also called the meningitis belt of sub-Saharan Africa, is a region with historically the highest evidence of meningococcal meningitis caused primarily by Neisseria meningitis bacteria in the world. No, it's just people with bad terrain. That's somebody's excited to. Yeah, we need to vaccinate everybody. I mean, every year they come out with the bullshit. Sudden death, heart attacks, blood clots, Bell's palsy, menstrual irregularities, headaches, and detached retinas and stuff like that. I'll never forget that. I've still got it somewhere on my laptop at my house, currently at my girlfriend's house, my lady's house. Yeah, amazing stuff, folks. But this is what they do. So they've created a crisis, and after that crisis, they've got the solution, which is more jabs. But notice they won't take it. They won't take that jab. They want you to take it. Right, folks, I think we're going to give this an end. It says Zhang Qing went to Yale. Is he a Skull and Bones member? I don't know. Happy St. Patrick's Day. That fraudster. Who's a lady. There's a lady there. A lady in disguise, that is. Something. Thinks he's some sort of brain box where you watch him talk, he can't even he can't even string a sentence together. Nonsense. Right, let's do one more. Birmingham double parking. Why aren't the council doing anything about this? Again, giving more power to the so-called council. Who are the council? What is the council? Yeah? Why aren't the council doing anything about this? I.e., why aren't the council banning these cars from the roads? Yeah? Basically is what it's saying. Right, folks, that is it. we will end the stream. It's been a long stream. We'll end the stream